inside the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker gym. I'm Evan Sharrard alongside Padgett-Day.
Hi, guys.
Today we are bringing you Emerson College versus Fisher College men's volleyball. We're just about set to get underway in just over 3 minutes and 40 seconds here. We are going to be watching the 11-12 Emerson College take on 0-12. They are independent, no conference record Fisher. Emerson 8-6 in the Greater Northern Atlantic Coastal Conference. And last time out, when they played Fisher, you called that game. That was the 28th in February. Emerson won in straight sets, and they scorched them, Britton.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that game?
It was my first game, and I remember Fisher being really bad. Their biggest issue was they could not get the ball over the net. I remember saying multiple times that that's the whole point of volleyball is to get the ball over the net. So I can't imagine they're going to get over the net much today either. So.
All right, and in that match, Emerson, they played a tight first set. It was 25-19, and at first it looked like Fisher might take it. They were leading halfway through the set, but then Emerson came back, came through with a run, won 25-19, and then after that, we will go to a PA announcement.
PA time.
Your Emerson Lions. Freshman from Maple Glen, Pennsylvania, number 3, Ben Dorsey. A junior from Santa Clarita, California, number 8, Nico Pittman. A sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, number 9, Jack Meisner. A sophomore from Westminster, Mass, number 14, Jake Kelly. A sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, number 18, Baden Slavic. And a junior from Westport, Connecticut, number 24, Luke Rain. The Lions are headed by Ben Reed and assisted by Jake Sharrard and Jake Vittori. At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Now we see the handshake line right at center court. Going to get underway in this match very, very soon. Britton, you had mentioned that the last game between these two teams was not living up to your expectations. You mentioned that you don't think Fisher's very good. What are you expecting from Emerson, and who are you expecting to stand out on our side?
I'm expecting Ben Dorsey stand out, also Bryson Beck. Last time, they're doing the gritty. Last time I was here, Bryson Beck had a great game. So did Ben Dorsey. Obviously, Nico Pittman always stands out. Always a standout in my eyes. We love Nico Pittman over here. I'm expecting Emerson to maybe stumble out the gates a little bit, but that was primarily errors last time. So if they come out clean, they're going to just wipe the floor, and this is going to be an easy, quick one for us.
And last time out, Emerson played a doubleheader against Regis, Massachusetts, and Colby Sawyer. They won both. Against Regis, they won 3-2, and they swept in straight sets against Colby Sawyer. We are about to get started here from Boston. And last time against Fisher, Nico Pittman had 10 kills. And I remember you guys talking about that game. He was sending everything into the ground left and right. And the last game we called together, they weren't able to get past this sea of blue is what we deemed it. There were a bunch of guys who were 6'5" to 6'8" standing in the front, which was really able to neutralize Nico's ability to spike. What are you thinking is going to happen with that in this game?
Not the same thing, because I'm looking at the front right now, and I'm looking at 6'4" and 5'9" and 5'9". So that sea of blue has been traded for a fence of navy.
All right, a fence of navy.
A fence of navy.
I like it.
It's like a beaten down old wooden fence that like rabbits can jump over.
All right. Let's see if we see any rabbits in the gym as Jeremy Blau is about to get
I know
us
one
started.
rabbit, Nico Pittman, the way he gets up.
Pittman will be jumping as Kelly is able to send this back and pass the back line, so Fisher will get on the board first. We see Nico Pittman not in the starting lineup today. We do have Baden Slavic, Jack Niesner, Jake Kelly back underway. Slavic sets it. Meester tips it right over the net, and unable to recover is Fisher as Emerson will tie it up. And some quick subs as Samaji Bird comes right in for Kelly.
Oh, and here comes Pittman.
And now Pittman comes in, you're right. Popped right up in the air. Some indecision on the Fisher side. Sent right over the net now. Slowing it down, getting ready, a fake. The ball bangs off the top of the board, goes off a leg, and killed by Pittman. And Britton, we saw, I don't know if the camera was able to pick it up, but the ball banged off the top of the ceiling, came straight back down, and it didn't really look like they knew what to do there. They got lucky with the leg kick, but then
they kicked it twice.
Yeah, and
they
then
tried
Emerson,
to kick it again.
Yeah, Emerson was able to recover.
Yeah, some of these volleyball players are also on the basketball team. I wouldn't be surprised if some are on the soccer team as well. That's for Fisher, of course. Our volleyball players are strictly volleyball because they're good at it. Fisher, they like to dabble in a couple different sports, you know. Triathletes.
Triathletes, how about it? That one goes out, Emerson knew it. And it's 4-1, trying to start a run here. Emerson started with a 5-0 run the last time they played Fisher. Britton was here for that.
Oh,
now it's 4-2 as Bird sends it into the net. See a whistle, and Bird comes out. Bryson back in, Kelly back out. Ram getting his team set. Serving now Navarro. Beck sets it up. Meissner sends it just on the inside of the line, 5-2.
That's a good spot.
It is a good spot.
That's a really good
yeah.
spot.
And I think already we're noticing the differences from the last home game when they played against LaSalle. They weren't able to do that because of the height in front. Now that Emerson's the taller team.
Shorter team, you can see over them.
Yeah.
And they excel at those spikes. So playing against a shorter team is really their easiest matchup. I mean, the biggest person on the floor right now is 6'4". That's number 12.
We got Rafael Fabra,
who's also their best player. You mentioned last time they played, Pittman had 10 kills. coming into that game, Fabra led Fisher all season with 12 kills.
And he had 4 in that game.
And he had 4 in that game.
Yeah. Fisher hit -39 in that game with 4 blocks, 17 digs, and 1 ace. Carlos Diaz.
-39?
-39.
Oh, man.
So the errors were really a problem in that one, as you recall. It's the first thing you said, really.
Yeah, no, I remember yelling at them to hit the ball over the net. Let's see if they can do it here. He's dribbling, I told you. Ooh, just barely got it over.
Floats it past over the net. Set up, Pittman faked him out, sent it right in his face, and it falls innocently to the ground.
Are we saying 10.5 is the line for Pittman kills today?
Well, let's see, because
he had 10 last time.
He had 10 last time. He had 15 versus Regis.
Ooh, so
yeah, so
11.5.
And he had 14 against Colby Sawyer, so 10 would be low if we're talking about the past 2 games, as there's another point.
Where do we want to put the line at?
I don't know. I think you said it.
With what? Oh,
Where do you want it? Yeah, you set the line.
I'm going to set the line at 14.5.
14.5, all right. Played off a foot. Able to get it over is Fisher. Slavic sets it up. Pittman slams it. And a point. Just on the in-line. Mask and all. Nico Pittman, another point. 9-3 in favor of Emerson. And we do have the scoreboard backwards once again, Britton. It's 9-3. I assure you that Emerson is leading. The scoreboard in the stadium above the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker gym sign is correct. We're currently having a few technical difficulties.
Listen, you tune in for me and Evan and the game. Score, not as important. Regardless, Emerson's going to win this game. Not too stressed on what the score is going to be at the end. As long as Pittman hits that 13.5 line, I have the over for that.
Well, you said 14.5 is what you said, but
oh, 14.5.
Still not sure what's going to happen here, as Emerson is up by a sizable 8 early on. Dorsey ready.
I'm glad we noticed this. Oh, wow.
And yeah, just not able to get his footing there in the back line. Jeremy Blau unable to get under that ball effectively. A timeout call, timeout chant.
Do we think Pittman is going to have more kills than the entirety of Fisher?
Well, that's something I don't know. Because, all right, let's see.
He could.
So last timeout against Fisher, Nico Pittman had 10 kills. Overall,
if we don't count that error-ridden first set, the only points that Fisher put up were 13. And those aren't all off of kills.
That's true.
So Pittman could actually, Fisher has 3 right now. I mean, obviously there's plenty of space in between.
Yeah, you really, yeah. I mean,
I'm just hating today, honestly. But hey, it'll be an easy one. It'll be a good one. It'll be fun if you're an Emerson fan. It'll be terrible if you're a Fisher fan. I imagine the whole season's been terrible if you're a Fisher fan.
Well, 0-12.
0-12 isn't it a good
no
look?
Conference, but you are setting up a pretty big announcer's jinx. If you're wrong here, I mean, you're gonna have to eat it.
That's fine. I'll eat it. I'm not too concerned about it.
Dorsey's able to recover this one. Slowly setting it up. Dorsey.
I like that.
Able to get the pass from Slavic. Spiked over Dorsey. Another good play right there. Tipped over the net. Slavic sets it up again. Pittman into the ground. Another kill.
He hit that so hard.
It's what he does. I mean, this is kind of what I think this is what you were expecting here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. It's going exactly how I thought it would go, if I'm being honest. This has not wavered at all from my initial predictions or thoughts. They keep Fisher keeps kicking the ball. I don't know why we keep doing that.
Bryson back with a move right there.
Stop kicking the ball.
Moves.
Use your hands. It's volleyball.
Well, they've gotten some good hits off the legs.
Yeah, half of their hits have been off the legs. Okay, maybe keep kicking the ball. He tried to use his hands on that one and just missed.
Right now, at least what I'm seeing is it just looks like the footing's not exactly right, or they're not getting under the ball as well as they could be. Able to set this over the net. Dorsey, Slavic.
Pittman. Oh, nope, not Pittman.
Rame, a nice play. Just unable to get to that one, and Emerson extends it to 13. A strong start for Emerson.
Really strong start. Really, really strong start. It's gonna be a run, whole game.
And there, I mean, this is really a continuation of the confidence they built up in the last match. We weren't quite able to get to it, but they won an exhilarating 3-2 game over Regis, and then against Colby Sawyer, they swept straight sets, and here they are again, looking in great form, up by 14.
Yeah, no, they're doing great. I think there was a net violation on Fisher right there to give Emerson that point.
In control, Emerson awaiting the ball coming over the net. Beck gets it to Slavic. Rame taps it over. Good recovery that time. Playing it over the net, Fisher, Slavic, Rame, another tap. Setting it deep, and now Fisher, we're seeing Fisher adapt to how Emerson's playing just right in front. They're just sending it deep in the backcourt of Emerson.
Ooh.
And not able to get that one in that time.
Too much on that one.
Too much.
I would like to see Fisher do attack a little bit more. I feel like recently they're playing a lot of defense and just trying to get it over the net and out of their zone.
Yeah,
but
and
you got to score.
And Gustavo Cruz went for that one there, but that was the most competitive set so far. And we did see it as Dorsey's unable to get it over the net there, 18-4. But we were able to see Fisher make an adaptation to what they were doing before, as they were able to see that Emerson was just tapping it over the net, seeing what their front court could do. And instead, they sent some long sets into the back, trying to fake Emerson out. And it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think it worked well. Like you said, that was the most competitive set. I do just want to see Fisher try to attack a little bit more. I think Pittman got a hand on that one.
Yeah, that time it was a good block by Nico Pittman to extend the lead to 15. So far, Emerson hitting a whopping 471 in this first set with 10 kills. And a relatively clean first set, too, compared to what we saw the last time at home here against LaSalle.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, on both sides, this is cleaner than I thought Fisher was going to play. I think at the beginning they looked very nervous. Like you said, feet weren't set, like right there. You know, there's just a lot of holes, but they haven't hit the net a lot. There's not been a lot of errors on either team.
The 16-point lead. Pittman starts us off, and just a miscommunication in the back line there. It'll be 21-4. I think that's one thing we've seen as well, is I think Fisher is better communicating now at the start. It seemed like just a little bit of people being out of position at first, and then they've been able to be pretty good until that last set there, as that one sails out from the sideline. Pittman unable to keep that one in, and it's back to 16 Fisher with their 5th point. It'll be Carlos Diaz to serve.
What's the run that Emerson's on right now? How many points have they scored
Well,
straight?
it just ended right there, as they're unable to get it over the net. 22-5, and if you remember last matchup versus Fisher, they won the second set 25-6 and the third set 25-7. So far on pace for something similar to that. Third hit gets it over. Back to Slavic. Rame able to spike that just in front of the back row. Javier Garcia unable to get to that. Emerson back up 23-5.
Emerson playing really well today. I think if they can get on the serves a little bit better at, you know, not hitting the net on serves, Emerson will maybe do a full sweep round against Fisher in one of the sets.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of been what we saw recently. They swept Colby Sawyer, and then before the game against LaSalle, the last game we called here, they had been swept by Wentworth, and then they swept Colby Sawyer. So it's been a lot of sweeping when it comes to Emerson, as that one goes past the outline, past the back line. Emerson 1 point away from winning the first set.
Sweep or be swept.
That's
what we've been seeing.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story with Emerson.
You know, they're either going to play really well and knock you out, or they're going to fall on their own foot. But today, it seems like they're more knocking people out.
Rehm gets it over, and that is the end of the first set as he's able to get an ace there. 25-6 is the final after one set. So Emerson now leads 1-0 in the match overall.
Well, that was fast.
It was, but as you said, it seemed like it's been sweep or be swept, but there was that 3-2 match against the last time out against Regis. And in that match, it was a very even match. Every score was close except for the fifth one where they won 15-6.
Yeah.
And really, since that 15-6 run in that fifth set, they swept Colby Sawyer and won every set in that match 25-12. Our replay box is going a little bit crazy here, so I'm just fixing that. But in that last game against Colby Sawyer committed 26 errors, and Emerson had only committed 5. That was really a big difference.
Huge.
That's huge.
That's
and
huge.
I think against LaSalle, when we were watching that match, yes, LaSalle swept Emerson 3-0, but it was the errors that Emerson made that was key, because those matches, despite the size difference, Emerson was able to make up for it in their game plan,
yeah.
and they almost won most of those sets.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Emerson has a tendency to kind of trip over themselves. But today, I haven't seen too much of that. I mean, there's been a couple on some serves, but the communication's been great. Honestly, no one's really tripped over themselves too much. I think I would love to see Fisher communicate more, attack a little bit more. We did have that one competitive rally going. But really, other than that, you know, it's been a pretty easy game for Emerson. So I would love to see Fisher maybe just talk. I haven't really heard them talk at all. I've heard Emerson talking. Their body language seems to be a little low, so just like pick it up and, you know, make it interesting.
Yeah, and despite what the score was at the beginning of the first set, a lot of it seemed like it was early errors where they just weren't really set up right. And then after they talked a little bit, they were able to get some rallies going. But the stats after one, it shows that Emerson, they did win 25-6 there, but the hit percentage for Emerson was 500, and that's really high.
That's really good. That's really good. I mean, Emerson's been playing great. I think this is some of the best Emerson volleyball I've seen in a while. And if I'm Fisher, you know, I'm 0-12 right now, so I'm not like too concerned about seeding, obviously. But you know, just go out, try to improve on every set, try to get better. I think your goal right here, if I'm Fisher, I want to get 10 kills. Communicate. That's my big takeaway. Communicate. There shouldn't be this many holes. Now that they're kind of on the same side we are, hopefully I'll hear them a little bit more. They do seem to be a little bit happier coming out of the huddle. So we'll see.
Yeah, and one of the stories of that first set was Emerson had 10 assists and Fisher only had 1. So it seemed like they were kind of hurrying to get that ball back over the net and return it rather than setting up the best possible shot.
Yeah, they definitely, I don't think they really tried to set up too many shots in the first place. It seemed a lot of just like get it over the net. At least for Fisher, you know, I think Emerson's been doing a great job of knowing Fisher's weaknesses and attacking there. I think Fisher just needs to adapt, come out with some adjustments, and they should be good. All
right, we'll see what happens in this second set as we're about to get underway again. We see on the court for Fisher, we have Rafael Fabra, Eduardo Navarro, Keandre Pencial, and then in the back line we have Gustavo Cruz, Carlos Diaz, and Drake Hampton. And Samaj Bird will get us started in the second set. Emerson won the first one. Back line, and unable to get it over the net that time was Rafael Fabra. Emerson strikes first.
I will say, Carlos Diaz, we talked about it before the game even started. He's got the Grinches on. It's a great shoe choice. I don't know if I would play in them. They're kind of expensive. But, you know, drip or drown out here, and he's definitely dripping.
Dorsey able to just get that over the net. And he'll get the point, too. So you see him smiling, laughing it off, and doing the fist pump.
I love Dorsey. I love the hustle Dorsey plays. He's not scared to hit the ground at all.
Didn't have to there, but a point nonetheless. That time looked like Meissner might have hit the net. No call there. And
that was
time
Dorsey.
spiked pretty well. Again, Dorsey, all smiles. 2 points now for him. Bird serves again. Good block that time by Emerson. Nobody to back him up. Close in the back line, but again, looking like just a few communication errors early for Fisher in this set.
I do applaud the attempt to attack. That's a time where you just want to get over in the net. Those are two big guys in Ramses and Jack. You want to get over them, and spiking is the same issue that Emerson ran into against LaSalle. You want to get over them, not just spike it at them.
Yeah, and Britton, we're seeing Dorsey and De Los Santos right in front of the net, going up for blocks nearly every time they're trying to spike it over, and they've had 2 successful blocks. What would you do when you're seeing that to combat that?
Again, same thing I said during the LaSalle game. I would try to do a floater or just a misdirection, kind of get their eyes away from the ball. If you spike it right at them, it's not going to work out.
We see a timeout now. And that was the thing that Emerson had to do. So you could say that Fisher could learn from how Emerson had to adapt against LaSalle. Granted, Emerson did lose in 3 sets, but they did make those changes. Fisher made some changes in the first set of this match where they started sending some deep sets back to the back line instead, because Emerson was playing so far up and just spiking without any mercy right in front. So they adapted in that first set. We'll see how they adapt in the second set, but like to your point, I think that if they do adapt by tapping the ball into location, just in those little soft spots.
In those soft spots, yeah, especially that back. Like you said, Emerson's playing really up front. You can even try to spike it back there, but you're going to have to get it higher than De Los Santos can reach. And he can reach pretty high.
He and Dorsey.
Fisher needs to make these changes soon. They're down 0-6 right now.
Dorsey so far is responsible for the most points in this game with 7. Pittman with 6.5 at second, and Rame with 4 in third. Fabra sends one into that opposite corner, perfectly placed, and the first point of the set for Fisher, and we'll see if that gets them going. Kelly coming in for Bird. Or sorry, Kelly and Bird both leaving the action. Soft touch just over the net, a fake spike by De Los Santos.
Oh, that was a great block.
Rejection in front of the net by Fabra. He is fired up, and 2 straight points for Fisher, 2 straight points for Fabra.
Yeah, he's their best player by far. It's not even close. He's also, coincidentally, one of their tallest players. Standing at 6'4". He's a big dude.
And he's making his presence known right in front of that net as a good set to keep this rally alive. Just a little bit too much on that one. And Emerson back in the scoring category. Meissner gets this ready. Slavic De Los Santos blocked on that one. Setting up again. Meissner blocked again. And how about this, Britton? We were just talking about how Emerson had a 2-man front right up, getting ready to block. And you know what? I think Fisher's just like, you know what? I'm sick of this. Let's go to the timeout huddle and let's do the exact same thing that they're doing to us.
I mean, they put 2 of some of their tallest guys in there. In Fabra, who's 6'4", and then also number 14, that is Cruz. It's only 5'11", but he does get up, and he's got some lengthy arms for 5'11". So 5'11", but well, I'll say he's 6 feet. You know what? Cruz, he's 6 feet today.
All right. He's 6 feet today.
He's 6
Britton
feet today.
said it.
Yep, according to me. Feel free to put that on your Tinder bio. 6 feet when needed.
That's 4 points in a row, but just broken up by that point. Emerson will get a point on the service error by Navarro.
I hope that doesn't kill their spirits. They were very high spirits off of those 2 straight points.
Well, you just wait till Fabra gets right back up and into the action in front, because you can count on him being able to block all those plays. Lightly tapped over the net. Slavic setting it up. De Los Santos spikes it into the ground, and unable to get that one is Hampton. And Emerson back up by 5.
They went away from Fabra right there. They went on the other side. Fabra's on that far right half. They went into the left.
And that's just a quick
Good adjustment.
Yeah, just a quick adjustment. Good adjustment by Emerson there. And another point for Emerson. That one sent a little bit too hard by Cruz. Ben Dorsey, our leader in points today, will start us with the serve. And he sends that one into the middle of the net. Fisher now down by 5.
That's what I expected to see more from Fisher, but I haven't seen that much of that today. I saw a lot of not being able to get over net on serves the first time they played, but this time Fisher's have been doing a good job. Their serves haven't been like super hard, but they've gone over net, which is all that matters.
Yeah, they're definitely doing enough to allow the play to begin. They're not trying to overdo anything. They're just trying to get it over and then play it from there. That time Emerson's able to score as the ball in a blocking battle went on the side of Fisher.
And then I'm confused why I haven't seen Ethan Marshall more, number 10. He's listed 6'3", but he's got to be taller than 6'3".
Why?
Look at him. He's definitely taller than 6'3".
All right.
Why hasn't he played more? Where has he been?
I got no answers for you as Rame, that one is off of Fabra and then played back down by a fan up there.
Shout out to that bystander. Good job.
And it'll be 12-6.
They have a big lineup in right now. Keandre, 6'2". Also, there's no way he's 6'2". He's got to be bigger than 6'2".
Again, I'm going to ask you, why does he have to be bigger than 6'2"?
Because look how tall he is. He just doesn't look 6'2". Maybe it's because I'm sitting down, but he's standing next to Jack right there, who's 6'4", and they look the same height.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Had to break out some measurement.
I was going to say, I'll listen to your stats there. That was,
but
I'll
see,
listen to your argument.
There was Ethan Marshall. Look, he's next to Jake Kelly. Jake Kelly is listed at 6'3", and Ethan Marshall is definitely taller than Jake Kelly.
And that was, all height talk aside, that was a very nice ace by Baden Slavic. My goodness. Just over the net and a line drive right into the ground. Nobody's going to do anything about that.
Yeah, sorry, I got really distracted by this height thing. I was looking at my notes, looking at everyone's listed height. That was a great ace. That was a fantastic ace. And there's been a hole in the middle all game for Fisher. They need to fill someone up in that hole.
Yeah, you know, I think that seemed like that one was a one-off to me because that was just a perfect serve.
Yeah, but generally speaking, there's been a lot into that middle ground. They've had 3 in the back. Maybe move one of those 3 in the back just up a little bit more. Just to fill in the space a little bit better. Emerson's been doing a great job at finding the holes and attacking.
We look at some of the stats so far in this second set. Emerson is hitting 250, so back to a more reasonable number than the 500 that they hit in the last set. Then out of their 13 total attacks, they've had 3 errors. They only had 2 in the last one on 20 total attacks. So not as clean as the first set, but they're still playing well enough to be up by 9.
Yeah, they're still playing well enough to be up by 9, and that's all that matters. You know, you want to play clean, but a win is a win, man.
That's
so if
true.
you're going to be up by 9, you're going to be up by 9.
Absolutely.
Just got to close it out.
Just in the second set here, Emerson won the first one 25-6 as Slavic is unable to get it over the net. Meisner with a little layup just over the top.
Struggling with that today. Getting over the net for Emerson. I came in talking all this about Fisher not being able to get over net. You know who can't? Emerson College.
Well, they've been able to get it over the net enough to be up by 8 as Garcia started us off. They'll call the point for Fisher as that one was just hit a little bit too hard past that back line. Fabra was the closest player in the area.
Yeah, he's giggling. He tried to go for that, and then I think last second he realized that he shouldn't and pulled his hand away.
Slavic sends it to the opposite side of the court. Meisner off of a leg of Diaz, and they will call the point. Well, did they call? It's going to be a point of Emerson, but it looked like the line judge. I don't know if you saw him, but it looked like the referee had pointed towards the Fisher side, and I was unsure why, but Rame gets it started. Just a miss hit there. Emerson, another point.
Those happen. Just hits the wrong part of your arm.
Rame gets the ball back quickly. 7 kills for Emerson out of their 17 points so far in this set. Played back up by Cruz, and another communication error that time.
Yeah, no, that's a huge communication error. You're looking at each other too. You just have to, one of you has to call for it, and then the other one has to back up.
Yeah, and the sophomore Navarro is just trying to rally his teammates there and say, you know, communicate better next time, because it was clear there was frustration there, but they were able to compose themselves quickly.
I mean, Ethan Marshall still looks really confused out there. Just shake it off. Shake it off. Next play. Just don't do it again.
Fourth straight serve by Rame. Oh, just over the net that time. Kelly tries to get it back over. And with some emotion, it is 20-8 as Emerson able to get the point on an attack error by Ethan Marshall.
Yeah, Ethan Marshall's starting to look frustrated off of that miscommunication, and then right there.
Or sorry, that time it was going to be given a kill to Jake. Called it a kill rather than an error. Emerson scores another point.
Diaz has been having some issues today of just getting the ball up. He's been doing a really good job at getting to the ball and making sure it doesn't hit the ground, but he's having a problem getting it to go up so someone else can grab it.
That time, this set goes straight into the net. Fisher gets another point. We've seen a few points come that way for Fisher in this set, and we compare it to the last set that they played. They're hitting a negative 417, which is just not up to where they want to be. They have the same amount of errors that they had in the first round, in the first set, but that hitting percentage it does leave room to be desired as they're able to get 2 there. Fabra right over the net. Beck able to set that one up. Slavic Meisner whams that one over the net. Navarro, Fabra, Dorsey, Meisner again. Another rally. Lots of hits both ways. Meisner in the air. Marshall, Navarro, Fabra. Tipped in the air. Meisner, Slavic able to get back up. Meisner again, sends it this time just out. Marshall excited about that. Fisher, their 10th point, and by far the most exciting point of this entire match. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I smiled today. That was actually really fun to watch.
That was great volleyball. I mean, and we've been talking about communication a little bit here. That was great communication by both sides, especially after some mishaps. An incredible run by Fisher. It's getting loud over here. Meisner didn't know where the ball was. Able to find that as Rame. Navarro, this time Keandre able to get it over the top. Meisner, and now Emerson has a communication error. Upset about that is Meisner, and very, very loud and excited. The bench couldn't help but laugh. That is the bench of Fisher. They scored 2 straight points. And we were talking about Ethan Marshall being very frustrated just a few moments ago, having to catch his breath. Now he is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, excited.
Yeah, he's all smiles over there. Meisner looks a little frustrated right now, but he's not one to be frustrated for a while, so he'll definitely come back up. But Ethan Marshall looks great. He's got his arms spread out. Look, he's doing great. That was a good job. He tried to come up and talk to us and almost got it. That was a good job. Great job. Great job.
Ethan Marshall comes over.
He's very excited. He's very excited.
No, those were 2 great plays, and you notice the difference in energy now. This Fisher team is really back up in high spirits.
Hey, remember when I said they just need to get to 10 for this set? Look, they're at 11.
And there they go. See if they can get a run going. Slavic to Meisner. Meisner slams it, unable to recover off of a foot. Diaz was trying to kick it up. They've had some luck with that, but not that time. 23-11 Emerson.
I don't even think that hit Diaz's foot. That just seemed to bounce off of 2 Fisher players. Meisner wanted all of his frustration out on that ball, and he got it.
Bird lightly gets it over. Diaz sets this up for Fabra. Slavic. Meisner. That time a point for Emerson. And they're 1 point away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this match.
Hey, I mean, if I'm Fisher, I'm really happy. Honestly, you got to that 10 that I told you to.
Well, Britain, if they don't pull off the comeback here,
that's fine.
Well, yeah, but as Emerson's able to win that set 25 to 11, they take a 2-0 lead. They just need one more as we'll switch sides again. But as I was about to say, they saw something in that set that they didn't get in the first. They were able to better adapt in the first set to where they would play those deep sets. But in this set, they got some energy back. They got some of the momentum. They just hadn't had that all set in the first time.
Yeah, they got some energy, and it wasn't frustration. There was a little bit. But they recuperated. They got good energy, good vibes, good rallies going. That's a huge improvement, and you're just happy to see it. As Ramses de los Santos mocks us behind me, I'm going to put mac and cheese in his pillow tonight. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's the roommate.
That's the roommate. Who's had a couple good blocks today. Have to give him the shout out anyways. You know I have to give him the shout out. He's played well today, but you know who's played really well today? Ben Dorsey.
Tell me about Ben Dorsey.
Ben Dorsey has been the typical Ben Dorsey that we love to see. Ben Dorsey has gone in for a bunch of digs. He's gotten some kills. He's assisted very well. He's been all over the court. I've loved Ben Dorsey's just overall game today.
Excellent. I love to hear it. And really one of the things we saw was not only was Ben Dorsey great in that first part of the set, but we noticed that we were talking about it. Fisher was hitting negative 417 at one point, and they got that up to negative 238. So their hitting percentage improved by 200 points.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That's a big difference.
And
that's going from terrible to good.
And they had six errors when we were talking about that with just 12 total attacks. They only had one more in the rest of their 9 that they had.
Yeah.
And so they really did improve their offense, their attack in that second half of the second set. What are you expecting from them in this third set now that they've got some more energy?
I'm expecting a lot of what we saw at the end of that second set. They seem to really be figuring out, get together. Unfortunately, I do expect them to lose this set in a somewhat convincing fashion. But for me, I say get to 13 this time. You got to 10 last time, get to 13 this time, and walk away happy.
I think you're definitely underselling them. I think that, they have won one set this entire season, but this is the most energized I've seen them in the 2 games that you've been calling.
Oh, yeah, no, this is the most energized I've seen them, but you need more than just energy. I think they're going to come out. They're definitely going to show improvement. I think they're going to play well. I'm happy to see that there's been little errors on them. There have been a lot of communication mishaps. I hope we fix that leading in here. But I don't know. Emerson is just, they're overall just a little bit better. They're just a little bit better, and it's really hard to come back down 2-0. But I would expect them to play pretty well, especially for them. I think you're going to see a lot more energy. I think Ethan Marshall is going to really captain that. I'm excited for them.
All right, we'll see what happens. Rafael Fabra, he had 2 blocks in that second set. That is 3 blocks for Fisher to Emerson's 4. And if they get more of those, that's how they were countering what Emerson was doing with the blocks early in that second set.
Oh, yeah.
And they were able to get some points that way. We'll see what they're able to do in this third set, see if they can get a few runs going and maybe win the first set of theirs in this match, as Keandre Penseal will get us started.
In different shorts.
Wearing different shorts, is he? How'd you notice that?
Because the color's different.
Oh, the colors that he's wearing. Unable to get to that one is Penseal, as now it is 1-0 Emerson to start, and we see some substitutions. Bryson Beck and Ben Dorsey coming on. Jack Meisner and Baden Slavic coming off.
Let's go, Bryson!
One thing about Fisher is they're very young. Lots of sophomores and freshmen. Only 1 senior and 1 junior. So they're a young team. So they do have a lot of room to grow, but they have a lot of time to do that.
Marshall able to get into that play. This time Navarro sends it over. Beck sets it up.
Oh, the roommate.
A light tap that time by De Los Santos.
Oh.
Able to dig that one out, but going off the wall that time was Dorsey, and he's smiling about that. It wouldn't have counted even if he got it, but trying to get a good dig that time. Rain was unable to, and we're tied at 1.
coach got to tell Ramses where to be.
Navarro just gets it over. Set up Dorsey.
Oh, a little too much juice, but that was loud.
Too much muscle, yeah, he hit it. Sounded like a slap.
Yeah, he got his whole palm on that.
He definitely did. They're going to give the point to Emerson. And it's going to be 2-1 Emerson, despite...
I think this is the closest it's been.
Well, it's interesting because we thought it was an attack error on Ben Dorsey, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it's 2-1 Emerson, so, or no, it's 2-1 Fisher, and so the scoreboard's got it wrong. That's what I had assumed. So it is 2-1 Fisher right now.
Is this their first lead of the day? I'm pretty sure it is.
Keandre wasn't able to get that one over. Keandre Penseal sent that one. His teammate tried to get it back over.
Yeah, he
and
kind of took a
Emerson will
weird
tie
angle
it
on
at
that.
2.
To try to get over net, he went the longest way possible. Smells like hand sanitizer.
Ooh. Oh, what a nice play by Fabra. He saw the line coming up and he decided, you know what? I'm just going to send this right over the net into that middle zone,
Again,
finding that soft patch.
their best player. He's checking out right now, which probably isn't good for them, but he is their best player.
Got to get him a breather.
Yeah, but I mean, how much rest does LeBron get in the final quarter?
Rame, that time an attacking error, who we're going to presume was going to be on Bryson Beck there.
We're all
And
tied up.
Yeah, we're all tied up at 3. They'll call it on Rame. So the attack error was on Luke Rame as Bird able to field this one. Set there for Rame, and he makes up for it right there as he banks it off a player in the corner and scores Emerson's 4th point.
I don't know if this is because Fisher has been improving of why the score is close right now, or if Emerson has kind of let off the gas pedal a little bit.
Well, Fisher had a really nice second half of that last set where they gained some momentum. It looked like they were just moving to the balls more energized than they were the rest of the game, and they've got the spark plug in there right now. Ethan Marshall is De Los Santos sets us up. Marshall sets this one for Diaz. Communicating and just getting to the ball is De Los Santos. Dorsey sends it just too far, and Fisher down by 1 again. Bird coming back in for De Los Santos.
I think Emerson needs to just like relax a little bit. They have not looked this bad the whole game. I mean, not that they look terrible right now, but they've looked a lot better. I think they just got to get back to that. I think Fisher's been playing well here, like right there.
And that time a good block because Chase Fagan was unable to get to that ball in the corner. Some more subs coming in. Beck out, Meissner in, Dorsey out, and Slavic in. After 10 points, Emerson leads by 2. Slavic sends it into the net, and Fisher back down by 1. So we're seeing a slow start now for Emerson
Very
for the
slow.
first time in one of these sets. What are you seeing?
They let off the gas pedal. They let off the gas pedal. I think they think this is going to be easier than it turned out to be. You know, if they just play their heart out for one more set, they win. But if they let off, you know, it's starting to get a little shaky.
Well, I think you do have to give credit to Fisher. They're playing much better than they were in the first set.
Oh, yeah.
They've definitely improved their communication. They've definitely improved their positioning. Right there, they were able to hit that one cleanly. Penseal, Navarro able to just set that into the back line like they were doing in that first set. Unable to get it off of a foot. Diaz unable to reach there either. And Emerson scores another.
Fisher has been playing like they were at the end of the second set, which is an improvement from overall during the game. However, Emerson has been playing worse than they have been all game, and that's the differentiating factor in this set than the others.
Right there, just a good spike, and look who it is again. It's Ethan Marshall.
He did a little talking motion. He had a little talking motion. He had a little celebration ready. And you think he cooked that up beforehand?
Well, I don't know. I think it was probably an in the moment thing. But he's been cooking up the energy that they've needed to stay in this set.
No, he's been a great energizer. Remember the rabbit we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Energizer bunny.
There you go.
Right there.
We found the energy in the building. Meissner. Marshall able to keep it up in the air. Fabra able to send it off. It's a 1-point set.
Hey, Fisher could win their second set of the season here. And their last game of the season, they could see their second set.
Marshall, something called dead. Marshall arguing with the referee.
He seems to have accepted that. I don't know what he did wrong, to be honest with you.
I think he served before the referee blew his whistle.
Oh, okay.
Saying that everybody was all set. That one goes too far. Oh, no, it was in. Whoa. And this set is tied. Emerson thought it was out, and in the back corner, so did I. But the referee definitely saw it better than I could.
I mean, he does have a better angle than us, but
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, well, there's some vintage Fisher.
Marshall sends it into the net. Jake Kelly will start serving for Emerson. We'll have to collect the ball here because that's going to be in play.
Marshall's still smiling, though. That's good. That's good.
Well, they've got the energy they need, and I think that they've seen the positive play to make them feel like this is within their reach. As Fabra was able to get that over, De Los Santos sends it a double hit, and just on the redirect, it stayed out of Marshall's reach. And Emerson back up by 2.
It's hard to be out of Marshall's reach. He's got long arms. He's tall. Again, he was the guy that was arguing that's taller than it says. I'm going to have to ask him at some point.
Kelly upset about that as he sends it into the net. 10-9, Fisher regains the serve.
All right, Emerson kind of stumbling on themselves a little bit here.
We'll see if Keandre Pensil can take advantage. Gets it over. Slavic sets it up. This time, Fagan gets... Oh, no! They were able to recover! Slavic, De Los Santos. Fabra able to get it back over. Slavic faked a setup. De Los Santos bumped high in the air. Slavic back to De Los Santos. The back line able to recover. This time for Fisher. Bird was there, but instead it was De Los Santos. Fagan sends it out. And Emerson gets the point.
I don't know what just happened.
Those back and forth, both ways. Every player on the court just trying to do whatever they can to make sure that the ball doesn't fall on their end, because we saw some bumps early, just sending it over the net.
That's the third one of those we've gotten today.
Yeah.
Those have been the best part of this game so far.
Well, it's been very exciting as we see a lot of crowding right in front of that net. And some dialogue between Marshall and the referee. Garnered some laughs from the Fisher bench.
I feel like Marshall probably has conversations with the ref a lot. He's a very high energy guy, and usually that leads to words from the ref.
And just that time, Fabra was unable to get that over the net. Emerson point, and back up by 3. That'll be Beck's second serve. Getting well into position to set that one up. It was Marshall, Rame, Beck, De Los Santos.
It's a weird spike, but it worked.
Well, off of a few arms, it just kind of ricocheted off of some Fisher players. Another timeout. Emerson up 4.
All right, go on your run, Emerson. Finish the game.
And that was a timeout by Fisher. We're seeing more energy. We're seeing better play overall, better communication, especially, I mean, that rally.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Lots of smiles over there, too. Lots of smiles, which is good.
And I think it's one thing to talk about body language, you know, does it mean anything at all? But it's clear that Fisher is more into the game than they were in the first. There were moments where they were laughing. It's like, you know, how was I going to get to that? And then in this one, they just seem to be after every single ball, no matter where it is, no matter how impossible it is to get, no matter how easy it is to get. They're going after the balls that are on their side, and they've just been able to have at least 2 guys at all times on a ball. They've been able to send it back with, I mean, they're only down by 4 right now, and it's after a pretty good run by Emerson.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to make good decisions with a clear mind, so don't want to be frustrated. And again, they're a young team, and they're 0-12, so if you lose, whatever. Just improve, do what you can, and have fun.
Beck able to get this past the net. Rame now on the return. Fagan off of Penseal's arm. It hit right near.
Almost.
That was almost.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's not the line.
That
was close. That was really close. But that's not the line. Well, the still haven't hit.
For those of you who can't see, the ball nearly came and hit. Well, it almost hit me right in the face, but
yeah,
it bounced.
I would have been fine.
Bounced right off the foam. Popped up past both of us.
We need like plexiglass. Like we need to be in a box.
We'll need some plexiglass. That's what we'll need indeed. As Navarro is able to start the serve. Dorsey, Beck, De Los Santos. Ooh, a nice little underhand there. Penseal, and that time
I don't know
Penseal.
how that keeps working.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. How De Los Santos weird little like underhand lob. This is like the second time he's done it, where he goes up like he's gonna do some powerful spike, and then he kind of like bends his back and just like flicks it over. It seems to get them every time.
Well, I think if it's confusing you, it's definitely gonna confuse the players.
It's confusing me because it looks weird.
Maybe that's his goal. You can ask him.
Yeah, I can't ask him. I mean, he is a weird dude. He's going to an anime convention after the game today. He's dressing up as a furry with his girlfriend. Shout out Daewee. Hi, Daewee. So he's definitely a weird dude, but, you know, it's fun, dude. Fun guys are weird guys.
Emerson able to get the point there, up by 7 now. And after Fisher's run and keeping it close, Emerson able to get some distance here, as now they're on a 4-0. Yeah, they're on a 4-0 run now. Fagan waiting to serve as Marshall comes out.
I like when Marshall plays. He's fun to watch.
He's been very exciting. Fagan gets it over. And they'll call him for a service error.
Hey, Fisher approaching that 13.
And so Marshall will...
Marshall's really bad at subbing in. He's had a couple of these today where he hasn't subbed in correctly. And the bench was telling him earlier. They kind of groaned at him when he tried to sub in the wrong way.
Subs all set. Serve underway. Getting a rally going. De Los Santos. It did hit the ground before they were able to get to that ball. Navarro just not able to get his arms on it, and Emerson.
Well, he didn't do his weird tap thing that time. He just hit it. It also worked.
Yeah. Emerson 7 points away from sweeping the set if they can hold on. They're now up by 8.
That's my MVP. I'm just joking. There's plenty of people on this Emerson team that play better than Ramses. But he plays well, though.
And he's playing well right now.
He's playing well.
Able to.
Never
There's
mind.
the announcer's jinx. We've
Never
done
mind. We lied. Go on the bench, Ramses.
Well, he's playing. Scored 2 consecutive points and then just unable to get the serve over that time.
6 points away from closing this one out.
Just over the net. Jake able to react. Quickly, Rame. Good dig that time by Navarro. Fagan able to keep it alive. Beck sets it up for Dorsey off his head. And they will call the point for Fisher. And I think right there, the ref's saying that he's never seen that before. I think what happened from my view was that it hit Dorsey's head as Dorsey's head was under the net and on the Fisher side.
Which you can't do.
Which you can't do because your body's over the center line.
None of your body parts can be over the center line.
But yeah, but in an odd instance, it was somehow his head. So
I don't know. I mean, he is low to the ground, but he's not that low to the ground.
Well, he was recovering from a hit. I think maybe when he
he was bent over a little bit. But
Beck, Dorsey.
Well, he got it back.
For it right there.
He got it back.
Yes, he did. 2013. And we'll We'll see Beck come out. And
he's
Solo
on his way
Dorsey,
out.
and again, Meissner and Slavic. It seems like this has just been a rotation.
Meissner's also been playing well today. Pretty much everyone at Emerson has been playing well today.
It's been a good team effort so far as Marshall
Oh, and look,
sends that one straight to Bird. Meissner setting this one back, and did he go over the center line? Yes, he did. Fisher gets another point, and they're back down by 6.
hey, we crossed that 13.
Referee says that he was, quote, so far underneath that he was under the other guy's feet.
That's pretty far.
And that one does go out. Emerson 4 points away. Fisher down 7.
Fun fact that we learned today, Bird has 2 numbers. He has 1 and 2 when he is in his white uniform. That is when he's not playing libero. He is in 1. When he is in his purple and is playing libero, he's in 2. And the reason for that, someone stole the other uniform.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. They suspect some basketball dude took the uniform on accident.
Well, there you go. Fun facts with Britton Padgett-Day.
Fun facts today.
Past the back line. Fisher, another point.
This could get interesting if Emerson doesn't figure it out.
And we've seen that Fisher is capable of going on a run. Late in the last set, we saw that they did go on a run, and they started to make it interesting. And now Meissner will get the point.
Way to kill a run right there, Meissner. And De Los Santos is back in. You know who I haven't seen in a while? Pittman.
Yeah, I was going to mention that myself. Nico Pittman has not played in quite a while.
Maybe we're doing some, like, rest before the playoffs.
Your
Minute
guess is as good as mine.
I don't know. I might want to put him in soon if Fisher gets close. Honestly, I thought that was out. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was out. But that's going to be a point, Emerson.
After Kelly serves Bird back in for him, wearing his purple 2 jersey, which is not the one he started in. Fagan up in the air, set for De Los Santos, and a point for Emerson. And they're 1 point away from sweeping the set.
1 more point and you close it out.
Sweeping the match, rather, yes. 2, sorry.
Oh, so I was right the first time.
You were, yes,
I thought
absolutely.
that serve went out, and it did go out. Okay. So they're 2 points away. They fixed the scoreboard. Lots of scoreboard difficulties over here at Emerson College. We're a liberal arts school. We don't have math. Numbers are not our thing. Now we're 1 point away.
And now we are. Bryson Beck just smacked that one.
This could be it.
Yes, it could. Beck starts it off. In a 7-point set, Emerson 1 point away. Fagan will get that last point, and Emerson has won the match in straight sets. They win the first set of a score 25-6, the second 25-11, and the third set 25-17. We saw an effort by Fisher late in the second part of the second set where we saw an infusion of energy, and it carried over into this set, a competitive third set.
It was the best set we saw.
And it was, and there were lots of great rallies from that second set into the third.
Actually, I take that back. I like that last half of the second set more than I like that third set. That third set, there was a lot of these points for both sides, were just mistakes and errors, when that last half of the second set was more rallies.
See you Saturday.
All right, we're going to look at some replays here.
I'll be at our baseball game.
Generally speaking, though, I liked Fisher's improvement through the game.
Yeah, Fisher did a really good job transitioning from that first set where they didn't play as well as they would have hoped coming out. Just some of the positioning and the communication wasn't great. But come that third set, it seemed like that never, like the errors that they were making in the first set, none of it ever happened again in that third set where they just were like, I didn't know who was going to get the ball.
I did see one more of those. I think at the beginning of the third set, I did see one more of those. Like, I'm not quite sure who's getting the ball, but overall, I think they improved, and I think that's all you need. Again, a young team they're going to fall to 0-13 and end their season like that. But, you know, playoffs weren't really on your mind in the first place. You just want to see improvement for you guys.
All right, and with that being said, the next match that Emerson will be playing is on the 8th against Emmanuel Mass. That's at 10 a.m., and then they'll complete a doubleheader against Riviere at 2 p.m., and that will finish the regular season for Emerson College. Emerson, again, wins today in straight sets, winning 25-6, 25-11, and 25-17. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you from Evan Sharrard, Britton Padgett-Day, and all the crew at Emerson Channel Sports. Thank you for watching, and so long.
Good night, guys.